Hey, what's up, it's Luka and welcome to a new video. Today I want to talk to you about something that I've been thinking about a lot on my runs recently. I don't know, when I go for a run, sometimes I drift off and I go into this thinking mode and I think about like deep topics and shit. I've been thinking about movies and how I kind of want my life to resemble the storyline of a movie and how that's just not realistic and kind of destroying my life in a way. Because movies are lying to us. Life is not the same as a movie. Shocker, I know. No, but yeah, of course movies are lying. They're movies, they're not real. They're supposed to be like that. But adopting this movie narrative into my life kind of had some negative consequences for me. I'm not trying to blame all movies for that. It's not anyone's fault, it's fine. I love movies, they inspire me, they make me happy, they're great. I just want to share my perspective on how this movie storyline narrative has affected my life. Not just in a way that it sets unrealistic expectations for your own life, like I'm aware of that, it's pretty obvious. Sometimes I just have this mindset that if it's supposed to happen, it's gonna happen. If not, then I guess it's not meant to be, whatever. And I thought about this a lot and I think I came to a nice little conclusion. I think it's really important for everybody to hear this, so I hope you enjoy the video. Let's go. You know how the main characters in a movie always seem to get exactly what they want without necessarily having to try hard? It always seems like it's fate or it's meant to be or whatever. Let's use the example of like a romance in a movie. So many times the movie character isn't even interested in getting into a relationship or a relationship with that specific person, but somehow they just end up falling madly in love and it's perfect and great and all that. You know, the classic story is that they really hate someone and then for some reason they're forced to spend time together, I don't know, to work on a project. And then throughout the movie it's not so much about the project anymore, but they actually start liking each other and fall for each other. And that's that. Great story. Or they apply to go to like a really fancy university just as a joke. And they write this really great admissions essay in the middle of the night after having this great epiphany, and then they just get in and wow, congrats. Or I don't know, they go to a karaoke bar with their best friends and like singing just for fun. And coincidentally, a famous music producer walks by and they get a record deal. These are just some really basic examples, just so you know what I mean. Obviously, I know that it's a movie and it doesn't depict real life, but part of me is always going through life with a similar mindset. If things are meant to be, they will just happen to me magically. I don't know if that's such a good mindset to have. You know what? Partly I think this is true. Sometimes things do happen for a reason. It's just my personal opinion, but sometimes I feel like things were truly meant to be when they happen. But I think the problem here is that we often forget that we also have to work for it and do something for it. Yes, sometimes things happen and it truly feels like it was meant to be and it's super cool. But when these things happen, usually beforehand, there was a whole lot of work involved and you kind of need to stir yourself into that direction so good things can happen to you. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me explain more. If you have a goal, you really need to work towards that goal and like increase your odds that way. You really need to put effort in whatever you're trying to achieve rather than just waiting for it to come to you. You don't need to wait for a sign from the universe or someone else to give you permission to do the thing. You just need to do it because you really want to do it. Unfortunately, life is not a movie. There isn't always the super clear sign that points you in the right direction. Maybe there are small signs sometimes, but usually we don't pay enough attention to even notice them. Let me give you an example from when I was a kid. And I know I'm not the only person who experienced this, like I've seen so many memes about this. As a kid, of course, I was really naive and I was kind of living in my own fantasy world still. I was really into playing football and I guess my dream was to be a professional football player. So whenever I would practice doing some tricks in my garden or on the street or on the football field, I was low-key wishing for a talent scout to magically jump out of the bushes and sign me. That was a genuine thought that I had. And I know I'm not the only one. I know you did it too. Like maybe not with football, but with something else. Looking back, obviously that was completely unrealistic. Like I wasn't even that great at football. I was maybe mediocre at best. But that's how it always happened in movies. So I kind of wanted to happen that to me too. As I got older, obviously I didn't have these super unrealistic expectations anymore. But in a way I kept this really weird attitude of I can't really want something too much or it's not gonna happen. Like I just need to be cool about it and wait for it to happen to me. I was definitely so guilty of just waiting around for that magical sign to give me permission to do the thing I wanted to do or lead me onto the right path or whatever. I don't know what I was thinking. Now that I'm older again and a bit smarter and I have more life experience, I realized that this attitude was probably a reflection of my own insecurities. I didn't want to admit to myself or other people that I actually liked something and I actually wanted something because I was scared people would make fun of me or I was scared that I wasn't gonna achieve it, and yeah, that's so stupid. So yeah, maybe this movie idea of things will happen when they happen was kind of a protection mechanism for me. So I wouldn't even try going after the things I wanted to because I was scared I was not gonna succeed. I don't know. It's complicated. I have a really great example of how I was kind of self-sabotaging my life because of this idea. Let's talk about dating. What a great topic. Do you know how many people I dated when I was in high school? Yes, exactly. No one. Not because I didn't want to date anyone. Like, I watched so many romantic comedies and TV series and whatnot, and I was open to the idea, but it just never magically happened. Like, nobody ever came up to me out of nowhere and asked me to go out. I was never assigned a chemistry project with a mysterious stranger and then madly fell in love. It just didn't happen. Well, I don't know. Then when I was at uni, I became a bit more confident and I had the realization that you actually have to put yourself out there and not just wait for people to come to you. You also need to send out the right vibes into the universe so you will attract people. I don't know. I think in high school I was just so closed off that nobody would have even like dared to ask me out. I don't know. I don't even want to go into this whole law of attraction stuff, but yeah, let's talk about dating. So at uni I would actually put myself in these situations where you could meet people that you could then potentially date. I just started going to more events and parties and talk to people that I didn't necessarily know, and yeah, that was good. And eventually I ended up dating people. Cool, that magical. Also, before I came out, first as not straight and then later as a trans guy, I always kind of waited for someone else to tell me. I always had that thought in my mind that what if the stranger looks at me and they see I'm not straight? Or I don't know, I was waiting for some sort of sign that would force me to come out. But no, nothing like that happened and I just had to come out by myself. Yeah. I guess this mindset is mostly related to difficult things, like things that I'm scared of doing. And maybe I just wish that it would be easier if there was somebody like nudging me into the right direction. But the truth is that we just have to create these opportunities for ourselves. Hard things are hard for a reason. Like, you just need to get through them. There's no way around it sometimes. And I think I was hiding behind that movie narrative a lot of the times. Let's take YouTube as an example. I don't know about you, but I always hear these success stories of these YouTubers who were just at the right place at the right time. They just randomly uploaded a video and they didn't even want to be a YouTuber in the first place. But for some magical reason the video went viral and now they're super successful. But I think this is just a very rare example. I think most YouTubers, to be successful, they have to make hundreds of videos. And luck definitely is a factor for being successful, but it's not the only factor. You can definitely push your luck by working hard and making lots of videos, and that way you will increase your odds automatically. If you post 100 videos, chances that some of them are going to be successful are much higher than if you just post 1 or 2 videos. Success stories aren't always super glorious, and often there's a lot of work and a lot of struggle involved as well. I don't know why, but we usually don't pay as much attention to that hard work part of the story. We like hearing the magical 1 in a million stories of how all the stars perfectly aligned to make this one thing happen. Maybe we just like romanticizing this idea of success. I'm just gonna leave that here. In the end, I want to go back to the dating example and tell you the story of how I met my first girlfriend. Because I always had these dream scenarios in my head of how I would magically meet someone and then it would click and we would immediately hit it off. And in a way, meeting my first girlfriend was kind of like that. In 2016, I did a year abroad in Australia and it was the start of the second semester there. It was the first week, so it was welcome week, and there were lots of free events where you could meet people. And on the first day, there was this pancake breakfast event, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna go because I kind of had been in Australia for 1 semester already and none of my friends were going. But I still went there and I just chatted up the first person standing in front of me in the line, and we got along really well, and then we started hanging out more, and then we became friends, and eventually we started dating and we fell in love, blah 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 blah. It was nice. But my point is that this magical moment would have never happened if I didn't go to the event at all because I was too lazy, or none of my friends were going, or some other excuse, or if I didn't go on all these awkward dates before in my life to just practice, or if I hadn't practiced being more confident, then I would have never had the guts to just chatter up like that. So in conclusion, these magical moments do happen, but you kind of need to prepare for it. You need to nudge yourself into that direction instead of waiting for someone else to do it for you. And I guess sometimes I forget about that, because let's be real, it would be so much easier if other people just helped you along the way all the time. So it's okay to follow your dreams, just go for it. You don't need to ask for permission or wait for permission or wait for a sign that's gonna tell you that it's okay. It's okay, good things will happen. You just need to take that first step. I just rambled a lot in this video. I hope it made sense and I hope I got my point across somehow. Anyways, I hope you have a nice day and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.